Okay, this is definitely, and I'm going to start tonight's restream recording where I'll be submitting and putting online later. Tonight's podcast, as well as broadcast, will be titled Drones. Is that what they really are? And I have a lot to add to this and thoughts. And I would also like to hear what everyone else has to say about this. No drones have been spotted in the sky quite literally everywhere lately. They've been dubbed as, but saying they're the size of small cars, school buses. There's a wide variety of people saying what they are. Of course, they've shown video footage of them online. Well, I'm here tonight to show you, and what I'm presenting tonight is not even a quarter of what's happened in just the last 3 weeks. But for myself, this has been going on since 2018. So how they're just now realizing that these quote unquote drones are flying around in the sky is beyond me, because I've been seeing them for, well, right around as long as I've been spiritually awakened, if that's what you want to call it. And I'm willing to bet that's kind of the process of this. It's just people are starting to wake up now, and maybe they're more alert and aware of it. But I don't think these drones are drones. Yes, they make the noise. Yes, they blink the lights. But also, people saying, well, that's definitely an airplane. You see those blinking lights? I mean, come on, please stop. Please stop with your nonsense. They mimic things. If anything that intelligent that can supposedly, according to you all, come from, light years away and get here in the speed of light, and with all the G forces, not have a brain aneurysm or just be smushed and plastered and smeared across whatever they're riding in and all over the walls. If they're capable of doing that, do you really think that they're going to be coming here and they're going to be like, hey, look at me, I'm a UFO, I look so different than everyone else, look, I only blink once in a while, every 5 hours, I'm definitely not an air. Do you really think that that's what they're going to do? Or do you think they might just kind of blend in with their environment, mimic things? Even the sound. Yes, guys, even the sound, even the blinking lights of a airplane. Go figure. I mean, it's time to start using your noggins, because, hello, if they can do that, what we just said, what I just said, and come from wherever they have, which in my own opinion, they've always been here. They are the fallen ones. They're demonic, but it's neither here nor there. Right now, let's just get past this part. Please get over here. Oh, that's a drone. That one's an airplane. That airplane has noise. It has blinking like that drone. It goes out. It's a buzz sound. Please stop with your second grade behavior and mentality, because I literally laugh out loud every single time I hear one of these so-called specialty, ufologists or whatever commenting on this. I have to laugh and say, what are you smoking? May I have some of that so I can be just as dumb and naive as you? Because seriously, pull your big boy and big girl britches on. Hold on for the ride, because these things are going to blend in. I'm a private investigator. When I walk in and I'm following my subject and say they're in a, I don't know, say a nightclub, right? And they're getting down jiggy with it, like just doing the bump, tickety bump in there, right? Do you think I'm going to walk in a Barney suit? Do you? Hey, look at me, and then hold my video camera up? Do you think I'm going to do that? Probably not. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to put on my night clothes, my nightclub clothes, I should say, and I'm going to maybe put on a hooded sweatshirt, a hoodie, or black if I'm, outside in the dark placing a tracker. But you get my drift here. You get the point. We try to blend in with our environments, with our own minds, because we can clearly think that straight, right? So I would hope to goodness that they would be thinking that straight if they came from wherever you guys think they came from. Or if they've always been here and they're the fallen ones, where technology originally comes from, like, hello, ether in the air, just reach out and get you some of that. You can't see it. I don't see any ether up there. Nope. Seeing no ether. But apparently you can just reach out and grab it. You guys use your heads. They're going to blend into the environment. They are going to mimic things. You guys, I know you saw Predator. I know you saw it with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know you saw it. Yeah. You know how he was just kind of like invisible or transvisible, whatever you want to call it. And then he would just make himself apparent, cloaking with their environment, cloaking with his. It is no different. And the technology's there. And a lot of you will be like, well, we do have that technology. We've got to have that. We do. 100%. Maybe not with the G forces where we're smeared all over the back wall from going so fast. But I mean, there are all sorts of scenarios and technology that we do have, whether it be projected imagery or time loops or quantum physics or whatever it may be, that they certainly didn't share with us because we are just unworthy. But whatever it may be, yeah, the technology is there. And where did it come from? Who do you think? Who do you think this technology came from? Do you think one day someone just like woke up out of bed and they're like, you know what? I have this really wild ass feeling that there's probably some ether up there in the air, and some helium. Just, you can't see either one. I don't know, some oxygen. You can't see any of this. You can't see it with the physical eye. But I'm just going to get me some of that. I'm going to utilize it. I'm going to go up in the air with a hot air balloon, or what they used to call an airship, because yeah, that's used to be the transportation we got around in, but we don't use that anymore. But either way, helium, hello. You think someone just thought, you know what? I bet there's a thing called helium, and I'm going to fly. Or you know what? I'm 100%. There's some stuff called ether, and I'm going to like hook it onto this little device that's going to let me reach Tokyo in less than a second via phone call, text message, or email. And they're going to answer straight away. You think someone just dreamt that up, was sleeping? Like, how did they discover this? Think, Lisa, think. Think. I guess, here's how I think they discovered it, which would be the obvious. The fallen ones, those that were here from the beginning, those that were there with the Heavenly Father in heaven, those that have always been there. From heaven to earth they came. And I know some people are like, oh, heaven, that sounds so sick. Whatever you want to call it, the cosmos, the outer space, the above, the beyond, the below, wherever you want to call that, that's not here physically, they came from there to fall physically here, okay? End of story. So we're all kind of singing the same song. It's just that some of you guys are real technical, like, like, oh, no. Just shush. Just please grow out of your big girl and boy pull-ups, and let's graduate to underwear. How about that? And maybe be a little potty trained while we're at it. Yeah? Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm being very, very. There's a good reason for this. Because while you were sleeping, these things have been taking place forever. Forever and a day. They've been taking place. Yeah. And it's been here from the very beginning, by the way. There's been several resets in this world, and the technology was there when Noah's so-called ark, which I think is a lot different than what we've been told. Like, back to the childish children's stories, I think a lot of things in the Bible were taken a little bit out of context, or maybe in a simplistic manner, and that's fine. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it means the same thing. It was wiped out because they were bad. They were bad people. Bad. Okay? Well, that's not the first time that happened, okay? And it is very clear, without even having to be some guru on the scientific measure or on the geographical, measure, or the biological, not even having to be Einstein for any of that. It's just called, number one, discernment, because we all have it, and common sense, because that's there too. And you can clearly see. I mean, they're finding a hammer embedded in rock here in Austin, Texas, that they say is billions of years old, but then so-called this and that, and it only started, 2,000, 4,000 years ago, and there's so many different stories on that. But, because it's embedded in rock and buried so deep, they got to carbon date everything, right? But I call bullcrap on that either as well, because whenever things are underwater, things can get buried real quick. Sediment can build up really fast, and it depends on how the motion in the ocean kind of goes, Picking up what I'm putting down? Because the ocean was picking it up and putting it down wherever it wanted. It was making deposits all day long. And you want to know something that can turn into rock real fast and fossilize real fast? Yeah, things underwater with a sudden catastrophe that happened just like, bam, there it is. Yeah, so don't doubt the petrification, and especially when you find what one would think were modern day tools. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But I mean, we already had the technology then. It's a no-brainer. From heaven to earth they came. They found the men of women have been beautiful. They mated with them and blah, 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 made some hybrid offspring, cyclopses, and who knows what else they did with crisscrossing and contaminating the DNA. And who knows, we're probably a contaminated version as well. And that's not even the point. The point is, are we living according to prophecy and scripture? Are we doing so? And granted, there's a lot left out. There's a lot. So I urge you all to dig deeper. But are we living the life that we should be? And say you never even knew it. You couldn't even read a Bible. Say you just didn't. Were you not born with the absolute 100% fact that you know right from wrong from the moment you come to be? You ever seen a baby grab for something they know they shouldn't without ever even being told before, and they're looking at you and they're slowly grabbing? Yeah, that baby wrong because they're born with the discernment is always in there. So you don't really even need the Bible to lead you through just to be a good person, okay? But I guess back to the original question. These thrones, quote unquote, in the sky, I've been seeing forever and a day. This is nothing new to me. I've seen 20 at a time, they're talking about how people are, oh my gosh, there was like 40 and they rose out of the ocean. They went here. They're following this, or they're hovering over military bases. Honey, 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 honey. They have been hovering over the whole entire freaking world for days upon end, okay? And I mean, I'm just going from when I woke up, what I call a wake up, a spiritual awakening. I don't even know what you call it. I just know that one day I was like everyone else, and the next day I woke up and everything changed. Everything I ever knew was a lie. And it was obvious that it was a lie. Then I was like, how did I fall for that? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know you do. And if you don't, well, just wait. And if you wait and it doesn't come, I'm sorry. I don't even know why you didn't wake up, or maybe you weren't meant to, because maybe you were never part of the plan to begin with. I really don't have the answers. I'm not going to claim to have the answers, but the answers that I do have is that y'all have been lied to. Everything's been wrong from the get-go. None of us have been right yet, and probably nobody is right at all. But the one thing I believe that I am partially right on is these things. Call them what you will. UFOs, airplanes, drones, helicopter. I don't even care if you call it a flying Scooby-Doo damn bus. I really don't. I don't care what you call them. The point is, they've been there. And the point is, we all know that they're not any of those things I just said. Okay? I've heard them turn their noise on, turn their noise off, just like that. I've seen them go from blinking lights to actually, and quite literally, couldn't make this up if I tried, looking like a flying ambulance. No joke, coming about 20 feet to land, like it's an ambulance with helicopter blades, to land in front of me. Yeah, you talk about feeling mad and crazy, and everyone else thinking you're crazy when you say it. But then you know you're not, and you know what you saw. So seeing that, and then all of a sudden it zip off, fly around the corner, still like at almost ground level, zips around a big building, my brother's shop. And next thing you know, you got to chase it. And the next door neighbor sees it too, so we're both chasing it. And the next door neighbor's like, oh my gosh, did you see that? I swear that was an ambulance, but look over there. It's a fire truck now. I'm like, welcome to my world. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And come to find out, there is no such thing as crazy. The only people that ever were dubbed crazy were made to be crazy. That's my opinion. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that those that they could not condition or get on board with their little indoctrination since 1800s, I believe, on this go around, just this in particular, last reset, before what's coming, because it's coming. But yeah, you know what they did? They stuck those people in insane asylums because, well, I mean, there were things like, oh, you're having a menstrual cycle 3 times a month. She's definitely crazy. That's not normal. Oh, you're OCD because you picked up the paper off the floor twice. And then there's these children. What do you think they did with those children? They didn't go to the insane asylum. No, they didn't. They came to that wonderful United States of America, which is a hoax. And they got on those little choo-choo trains and they went cross country and they worked on farms to ensure a very deeply rooted, systematic way of thinking, because that's the children were told that. Then as they reproduce, they bring forth children. And as those children reproduce, they bring forth children. And every one of them, so on and so forth, convey and say exactly what they were indoctrinated into. And it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. All you got to do is wipe out what once was the mentality, which would be the adults, the adult level, right? Dub them crazy, put them away, let them die in there, take their babies, ship them overseas, and start all over. But this is worldwide, so I'm just kind of putting that into a little bit of perspective for all of you, but it's perspective worth perceiving. Just saying. I don't care if you don't agree. It's okay to not agree. It is not okay to not use your own mind, your own brain, and not delve in. And don't just Google three little words, what is this? And expect that you're going to get a relevant answer, any close answer for that matter, because again, censorship is real. Controlling the human race, oh my gosh, if they're going to take your kiddos, and trust me, they try, they're going to take every little bit of information that you could have at your fingertips via the ether that somebody reached up, grabbed, and had no idea how it got there. Hello, fallen ones. That technology, yeah. And they are going to not show you the truth. How else would they have you to fall in, soldiers? How are you going to fall in, soldier, if that information's right there on my sister? I love, God bless her heart. I love my sister. But I don't think she's ever really thought very long and hard in her entire life, like quite literally. Sorry, Stacy, I mean it. It's time to start doing so, especially now in this day and time because Jesus is coming. But yeah, literally, you got to think outside the box and don't think for 1 second you're just going to get on. They're going to tell you the truth. And her, again, well, I check, fact check. They say Morgellons, not real. They say that. It's no, a fact check. Is Morgellons real? Fact check say no. It's not. Who do you think, that's a program, by the way, who do you think programmed that bot? And by the way, going back to programming and bots and artificial intelligence, guess what, cupcakes? You know, everyone's like, who could be operating all of these drones covering the whole US? I mean, so many of them. That would take a lot of manpower, and our government's like, I don't know who it is, but yet they're not shooting them down either, are they? No, wouldn't dare do that. But we certainly shot down a weather balloon that crossed the border from Canada into the US in like 2.3 seconds, right? Not even knowing if there was a bioweapon on board that could have just, once you popped it, spread everywhere and dropped like freaking half the population dead. Didn't even think about that, did we? But you know what? We know, according to our government, as well as every news channel you're watching, that these drones are so far not posing a threat. Yes, they're collecting data on our military bases and our military personnel and our government, Washington, D.C., hovering right over it, lots of them, but so far posing no threat. So, you know, we can't tell you who it really is. We don't know, but they're not posing any threat yet. So, but if I go fly a drone over Washington, D.C., or any of those military bases for that matter, guess what's going to happen to me? Just take one guess, and my drone. Just take one little guess. What do you think they're going to do? Pew! Shooting that drone down, and my ass is going straight to freaking the happy jail right around the corner. Guarantee you, and probably prison for life. Yeah. So you need to ask a hell of a lot more questions. You need to keep asking questions. You don't ever stop asking questions, and you start listening to your heart and what's within, because that is the only thing that and your dear Lord Heavenly Father above, because he's real, all right. If you can grab ether out of the air and you can clearly see things that shouldn't be happening all around you, but they're happening, then by golly, you better know he's real. We didn't come from no damn fart. Although a lot of you are appearing very gassy to me, a little gaseous, and you probably need to take something for that because you stink. You straight up stink. Those of you that are on board, you know you don't stink. I love you. You don't even have to shower, and I still think you don't stink. And I'm not trying to be mean to everyone that's not on board. I am trying to be firm as well as fearless, because I'm in the fight. I'm staying in the fight, and I ain't stopping. I'm not stopping. I will not back down. You know, the rooster can crow, the last rooster will crow, and I will not back down. And you can take that to the bank. Soon there won't be one, though, because you just be swiping with your hand, and once they take away your cash flow, what do you got left anyway, right? yeah, another thing to take into consideration. Better learn some skills there, guys, like collecting your own food, growing your own gardens, making your own fires. Because only Tesla could do the electricity thing, and we apparently got to have gasoline. We can't have any of that technology for ourselves. But I mean, if they said we were cavemen once, which hello, we were never cavemen. But I mean, if there were ever hunter gatherers, and I'm sure there were, because when this world has been wiped out, and again more than once, multiple times, they had to start from somewhere, right? Yeah. So you can learn how to hunt and gather all the same, but you better figure it out pretty quick. And first and foremost, it's not even about surviving here. It's about how to feed and nourish your soul here and be spiritually prepared for what's coming. That's a choice. And that's probably the only thing that requires the most nourishment and the most attention that we could possibly be considering right now. And I ain't playing. I'm not playing around. No crazy house needed. We're way past that, folks. COVID should have freaking shut your mouths a long time ago. But then again, so should have all the world wars. So 9/11, that one definitely should have shut your mouths. But nope, it's still yapping. It's time to be still, time to be quiet, and let God do the talking and me do the mocking, apparently. Okay, no, that wasn't nice. But picking up what I'm putting down, right? I hope so. With all that said, and with all due respect, these drones, I believe, are piloted by AI. That would be the only explanation for them being able to be in so many places at so many at a time in multiple, levels of them, quantities, flying around, hovering about, and not just bases and not just Washington, D.C., because they're over here on 76 acres in Podunk, Sealy, freaking Texas, y'all. Yo, they're flying around in a Podunk, Sealy, freaking Texas, where the population's pretty much wasted. Okay, sorry guys if you live here. I love you, but you know what I'm saying. There's nothing here. There's nothing here, and they're flying everywhere here. So don't let them fool you. But the obvious is, I believe we have a very, very real, huge enemy aside of the fallen and aside of the demonic forces. I believe AI, artificial intelligence, is our next biggest threat. And it's already here. It's so here that most of you aren't even aware of how here and present it is. It can mimic, fake, and do anything and everything, and most of the things that you can't. And it'll fool you every time because it's that real looking, especially when you're online using that ether that you reached up into the air and grabbed or somebody farted out, It's that real, folks. And that's probably how you could control a fleet of not just nationwide, but worldwide drones, because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. But our God has been everywhere the entire time. And that's all we really ever needed. So, all right, I'm going to be sharing some drone footage with you later. But for now, take out of that what you will. I'm praying that you take the good out of it and understand my sarcasm is a little bit more than likely because I get extremely annoyed. And I have been persecuted and punished way too much. That's okay. I got some broad shoulders with my whole 108-pound frame. My panties aren't too big, but hell, I'm going to put some suspenders up to here, snap them out, and be like, bam, you're welcome. What we're going to do next. So, yeah, I can talk redneck, too, if I need to. I can talk any language we need to talk if it means winning souls over to our Lord and getting them placed where they need to be one day, or at least helping with it. Because I need a lot of help, too. I am so far from imperfect, it's not even funny. I said fart and how many curse words tonight? I don't even know. But at least I told the truth the entire time. And you can definitely count on that. I will always tell you the truth. All right, love you. I really do. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Even those that aren't on board. Because one day, you will be. And we're family anyway, so just remember that.